Welcome, everybody, to the CBC Wizdumb Hour, number 191 for Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans.
Tony B coming to you from New Jersey. What's happening?
All right, now I got to turn you up. Oh, man. Everything.
Everything. Anything and everything. Let's hear all about it.
Everything's happening. We're going to talk about it in this hour here on this Wizdumb Hour that we do once a week here. Live, coming to you live on the Facebook page, the Cover Band Central Facebook page, the Cover Band Central Facebook group, and the Cover Band Central YouTube channel. There's a link in the description for the YouTube channel. Please click that link and subscribe. Hit the bell so you know you get notified when we go live. You can check out all of our past shows and other goodies on the YouTube channel. Like George, he is watching on YouTube, and he's in Chicago. What's up, George? Just like George did, you can come on in and say hello too. Tell us where you're from. We'll say hello back, and maybe we can get you in on the conversation if you have something you want to say, question you want to ask, or whatever. You know, we kind of just let it flow, don't we, Tony?
We do, Steve. And if you have some extra time and you want to go back and listen to 190 hours of previous episodes, feel free to do so.
Leo's here. He's a 4-month subscriber from Mesa, Arizona. Way to go, Leo. Appreciate you. I think that's Leo's. I know that name, but I think his avatar is different now than it used to be. I mean, so even just 2 months flew by, just like that.
6 months subscriber.
6 months subscriber. Corrected himself. Live, all that stuff. Oh, I got to say at the top, too, I got to remember to do this, that we have a website, coverbandcentral.com, where you can sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is free. Go do that now.
Free.
I never put that link in the description. I always forget that.
Your band or both.
Great job, said Gift Blessing.
Yes, thanks. We just got started and we're getting accolades.
I know. How about that?
Unless potentially, Steve, she just finished watching episode 175 on her way to the 190 marathon.
You never know. She is a gift and a blessing, though.
Indeed.
As she says.
We should go back and listen to some early podcasts. That'd be interesting.
We do do that here?
No. Yeah, like some clips of like episode 20 or episode 55, like pre-100.
We could technically
and then
do
we
that.
have post video era. As soon as we went live with video, because we had audio podcast for a long time, over 100 episodes, I think. 130 maybe.
I don't know the exact number.
I think we've got about 60 or 70 on video, but the previous ones were just audio.
That is correct. But we could do that here, I suppose. We could have a review, have an episode where we
have a review session of all the highlights. Yeah, review session of all the highlights.
See how much further we've come since then.
Certain guests that wouldn't stop talking the whole time.
Flashbacks. Oh yeah, I don't know who that is. George, flashbacks. And Gift Blessing again, just great job. She's all about it.
She's loving it. We're doing a great job, Steve. We're encouraged.
Edward said he needs a scholarship for my class, and what he's referring to, and I sent you the email. I don't know if you checked out the link, but
I did.
You did? Okay, good. So I got just kind of frustrated last week with all the invites, the event invites that show up in the Cover Band Central group that show up every day, without fail.
Day out, 7 days a week.
24 hours even a day. And
that would be
I decided, and I don't know how effective this is going to be for people, because I think a lot of the people that need this help are not aware that this is being offered. But what I'm doing is an hour-long live broadcast next Tuesday afternoon, 1 o'clock Central Time. So that would be 2 p.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Pacific. And if you're not in the United States, you can convert that time yourself. And just to show, I'm calling it how to successfully advertise your gigs online. And there's so many different ways, there's so many different options. And Tony, in the old days, we had to do it the hard way. We had to design and then print flyers, hang them up around town or at the venue, hand them out. get an email list and then print and then ship those flyers, mail those flyers or postcards. Hope it got to the right person. Hope that they wrote a real address and you could actually read it. And then take a chance that they would show up. And that was long process. It was ineffective, mostly costly. And then the internet came along, and voila, we have better ways to do it.
But pre-internet, Steve, that was some fun times making.
It was
Posters
for sure.
For band. I can remember making them from scratch. We'd make themes. You had to have backgrounds. A lot of times you have to cut out letters or get stick-on letters or even create them by hand. I used to draw flyers, put photos and make a mock flyer and then, make copies of it.
Yes. Fun, but definitely time-consuming and costly.
Very time-consuming.
Jody said, let's talk about why concerts are so expensive, and then said, so you took my comment down, which clearly I didn't. So I don't know what you're talking about. But we can touch on that in a minute. But so I'm doing this hour-long thing to kind of show everybody how to do this, how to navigate social media.
It's a great thing.
The right content to post, to come up with, the different avenues that you have, and to how to streamline it, like schedule it ahead of time, get it done, easily and quickly and consistently.
And most importantly, Steve, target audience.
Target
right?
audience,
sure
for sure.
The right audience that you're looking for.
Exactly. And that's what is a mystery about it when people post their event invites in the group, because it's not their target audience. So clearly they're not thinking, and they're not putting any sort of strategy behind their advertising efforts. So I'm just putting this together for the community, the people who want to learn. I mean, I've been a computer geek forever, and an internet geek really kind of forever. And I know how to market. I've grown Cover Band Central page to 571,000 people now. So I know how to do this. And I'm going to show you examples of how people do it and that are successful, and how I've done it in the past, and also mistakes to avoid. And the whole gamut. It's going to be well worth the money that you would need to spend. But the link is in the description of this video here. So you can click on that link. You can go check out the info there. There's an early bird special for it, which ends tomorrow. So if you want to get the 33% off price, you got to do it tonight.
Get on it.
Got to get on there right now. So it's $10, $9.99, and it's worth way more than that. The value you're going to get out of this. So go ahead and check that out. But we're going to talk more about this in the hour. But go ahead.
We used to spend 5 times that amount just to print the flyers, Steve. So $10 is a bargain, man.
Yeah, big time. Jody said, so who did? You're going to have to be more specific, Jody, because I don't know what you're referring to as far as your comment down. And if you're talking about in the group, I don't know what you're talking about. So you gotta give me more info there. So George used litho flyers and hung them everywhere in stores, on phone poles, anywhere people would let us hang them, and hope they would get to the Illinois Entertainer or the Indiana Rocker, which were, I guess, the music.
Much like our Steppin' Out or East Coast Rocker of the day. You would advertise your band in the paper, and there was a whole calendar of events, right, based on a whole gamut of clubs that were in the rotation that everyone kind of played and went through and supported each other. So it was a very cool time, though, pre-internet, because there was competition amongst bands, but bands also supported each other and would co-advertise, and put you on the flyer if they were opening or something, and there was only a handful of places to play, at least for original music at the time.
Right. So
you weren't trying to hit a huge geographical region, we'll say,
Right. And times were different then, and I'm not talking about just because it was pre-internet, but we were younger and we did different things than we would do today. Like we would go to the mall and hand out flyers to pretty girls. That was the thing to do, but now you're not going to do that. I mean, you might get arrested for that. So,
plus, I don't even know if anyone would take a flyer from you if you were like, "Hey, here's a flyer. My band's playing tonight. Like, come see this band."
Right?
You have to have some other kind of gimmick. like a ticket stub or something of more value, than just a paper flyer.
Right. Yeah. So I want to hit the audience of people that are generally our age, maybe 10 years younger too, that knew those days and had to do those things and haven't quite really adapted to the way to do it on the internet. And it's completely different, but the opportunity is way bigger than it was, just randomly handing out flyers to people. So, and I mean, the mailing list thing too, we used to do it when there was, after there was an internet and there was email addresses and stuff, we would go, like I played in a band called Mad Rabbit, and I would I had a clipboard, blank piece of paper, logo up top, name, email address. That's all they had to write. And you get, Joe Blow at joeblow.blow.
And his brother, hey, would you blow me?
Right. But sometimes people legitimately try to write their name and email address, and you're like, is that an E or a R? Is that and I was the one that had to do it. And I would take these, go through these sheets, put them in a mailing program, one by one, by hand, and, do that. Just try to decipher what people wrote down and then put it in there and then set up the the mailing list, send out an email, and then get so many back, this unresponsive email or
Yep.
invalid email address. So then I'd have to go through the list again and delete those that didn't work. Long, very tedious process. But you could still do something like that, but collect email names online rather than somebody's drunk chicken scratch.
Sure. Or like you said, they could sign up for your Facebook page and they could check in and see what the band schedule is, which is just an easy way to do it too.
That's it. I'm going to cover all that about pages, about groups, the benefits of both of those and how to use them, how to do event invites, where to share them, how often, how long before the show, all these kind of questions that people would ask. Like, I don't know where to share my stuff. Well, I'm going to show you how to figure it out. Because there's a way. No matter where you live in the world, there's a way to really successfully advertise your gig online and get results, get people there. The people there that you want to be there, that are going to spend money at the venue, are going to stick around for most of the show, and are going to come back the next time too. And that's how you build your audience. You don't have to be the best band. Nobody's the best band.
No, and repeat customers, word of mouth. Someone comes out and has a great time at a gig, they tell their friends and they spread the word, and before you know it, you have a following, and then half the work is behind you, because you still have to advertise, but then when people see it, they're already, I'm already planning on going, and I'm bringing, these 5 friends of mine, and, it also depends on, like, for example, I played a gig over the weekend where it was at a venue that we frequent often. We play probably once a month or every 6 weeks. We're on a rotation there. And customers there who have come and seen the band have become fans of the band, requested, they wanted to have a 60th birthday party there for like 75 people, for two different people's birthdays to celebrate. And they wanted the band to play. So, we still advertised the gig, but that was a built-in crowd type of gig where you're already going to have a room full of people just due to the nature of the party.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And they tell 2 friends and so on and so on. And that's how that works. It's not, it's pretty simple, really. You just need to do the right things and follow those tips like Tony just gave and others, many others. So I'm going to ask you.
Many others that can be discovered.
So I'm giving a lot of this stuff away for free right now, just the stuff I'm talking about and the stuff we're going to talk about during this hour, and having Tony here, to bounce off of this and his own input with this is very beneficial. So if you want to just take notes during this hour, you can save yourself the $10, and I'm going to get more in depth though with the event. So I still encourage you to attend that, but you could still get some stuff here. So I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, you could just Venmo me like $2, and, then you got $2 worth.
Right. So I'm going to ask you, and we'll just play with this. There's no real right answer. There's no. This isn't.
Stump the drummer.
That's not that.
It's not that. Okay.
But we're still gonna see what we can do, what we can construct here. So Tony is not a Facebook guy, I guess you're not really a social media guy at all, right?
Not yet. No.
No Twitter, no Instagram, no
Nope.
nothing. So he's an outlier.
I'm undercover. I'm an outlier.
So your approach might be different, but I want to ask you this question because you're not on social media, and and I want to make sure I address that with the people that join this thing, even though mostly people are going to be on social media that join this event. But if you right now, today, with what you have, what you know, what you do normally, if you were to start a band, that was a mission of yours, and you were successful, you got the band members together, you got a great name, you got a great logo. What would be some of the steps you would take aside, like using the internet, whether it's you doing it or somebody else doing it? What would be the steps you would take to start to kind of build an audience and get people to your shows?
I would definitely set up a website,
Okay.
right, to promote the band. Could have all your information there, photos, facts, the upcoming gigs, things of that nature, right? Be
Right.
a good outlet for that. Then I would have a Facebook page for the band as well, for another media outlet. I would probably start an Instagram of some sort just to keep relative on what's going on. If I was really serious, I'd probably start a YouTube channel, have a bunch of shorts or something like that where I would pump out a bunch of media, for the band. And then I would just have to make, 5 or 6 thousand calls to reach out to my followers to let them know when I'm playing.
5,000 or 6,000 calls.
Yeah, in lieu of having to do that, it would seem like a lot easier just to do the other things we just spoke about. But I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, you want to get established, you want to get your name out there, right? You definitely need a presence online. And I think the most important thing with that presence, Steve, is that you have to maintain it, right? You have to consistently be engaged with it so that people aren't going on and your last post was, 8 months ago, right? As opposed to the people that are, consistently on it day in and day out, and it becomes a routine. You and I know some musicians that are very good at it, right? That do it online.
Mm-hmm.
And it's they dedicate a lot of time to it. You know what I mean? They become savvy at some shortcuts of how to accomplish more with less. But it's definitely something that you need to pay attention to every day. Schedule your posts, and create the content. So, that's, I think, the most important thing. But it's also a commitment of time. It's something you got to be, you got to have some diligence with, and you got to be committed to doing it, so that you don't come out swinging and the band's on fire for a month and then people get busy and you fall off the radar for a little while.
Right.
It's like constantly keeping the momentum up, constantly being out there, constantly playing, constant being in the circuit and amongst the people that you're going to be with, playing in the town festivals, that local things that are going to attract more people and more promoters in different towns and will be advertised as such. And again, word of mouth. I mean, but the most important thing is you can have all these avenues and all these mediums of which to advertise. But if you don't have a good product, if the band is not good, it doesn't matter how great your advertising is. You're only going to get so far with that. So I always say, music first, right? To let the band speak for itself. Once
Right.
you get a gig, like a town gig, and you've never been there before, it's going to have, it's a town music show, right? We do them, at least I do them all the time at my band. I have a summer series, a winter series, and you go, and it's a town thing where people bring a lawn chair and they set up and they sit down, and you typically get a couple of hundred people at these things because it's a night out. If the weather's good, they bring cocktails, they sit, they hang out,
Right.
and then all of a sudden I see these people at gigs like, oh, I'd never heard of your band before. I saw you at this festival, and then we started following you. So a lot of times it's that you're exposed to someone new. But it's also important when they come up and say, "Hey, do you have a card?" or "How do I follow you guys?" or "How do I get in touch with you?"
Okay.
You got to have that. You got to have that ready. You can't be like, "Oh, hang on a minute, let me get a pen and I'll write you something down."
Okay. All right. I got to slow you down, Tony, because you go way too fast for everybody. Greg's here, but he's late to the party. But Greg, thanks for showing up again. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to kind of get to the basics. I know you riffed on a lot of stuff there that is all valuable information.
Peace out. I gotta go. I just want to let you know what I was doing.
That's all valuable information, but it's a lot. It's a lot to take in just a short spurt of
I would say establish the things, right? The website, the band name, a Facebook page, just some kind of initial internet presence, right? To establish that you have a band, you have something, an entity that you're going to promote.
Yeah. You want to definitely establish yourself online with, if you're good at, doing online marketing, you need those avenues. You need that website, you need the Facebook page. And I mean, one trick that I would give to people that most people don't do is a Facebook group. And that's kind of a no-brainer. And it's probably more effective than the page for you to have a group, because you'll build a group with people that know you already. And that's how you're going to get started, with people that you know. And that's the thing I'm going to cover during this hour too, is an important thing that I've seen consistently through my career, is having a relationship with the people that come to see you. And you were kind of talking about that a little bit, but I want to kind of focus on that. As kids, when we started in bands, if we had a show, who did we first ask? Our friends.
Of course.
Hey, we're playing here. Come support us, man. Mm-hmm. That's what we did. And family, perhaps, too.
Yep. And
generally, you have friends that have other friends that aren't your friends. So, oh yeah, I'm going to come and I'm going to bring Susie. She's, she likes this kind of music. And that's how it starts. But you need to maintain, you need to build and then cultivate that relationship if you want to really grow your fan base and get more people to your gigs. Because that's how it works. We just said it before. Tell two friends, so on and so on. But like you said before, you got to be good. You have to have a good product. You have to definitely hone your craft. But I'm assuming at this point you have a good product. You have a good band. You have good songs. You have a good show. You're getting gigs. I'm starting from that point, but you're just not promoting yourself properly. You don't know how. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to do it. You don't know how often to do it. And that's what I'm going to show you.
And you got to be approachable. You can't be an a-hole, right? You can't have a big ego and be arrogant. That's a big turnoff for a lot of fan base.
Yeah.
So you got to be cautious with that as well.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before, with social media, you have to be engaged with it really on a daily basis. It does take some work, but now with smartphones the way they are, people have tablets. You could do it anywhere at any time. When you have a smartphone, you could just go and see a comment, like it, respond to it, whatever, in 2 seconds. It doesn't take much. And that's what trips a lot of people up too, is like, oh boy, there's so much to do. It's going to take so long. Nope, it doesn't. I have a group of 63,000 people and a page with 571,000 people. And I do most of my work in a short period of time. I just compact it all in, and it's a lot more work than it takes to promote a band show. I do it in a very short period of time, schedule everything, and then it's done. And then on a daily basis, I check the group once in a while, check the page, check some comments. I don't have to engage with everybody's comments on the page. I'd like it ideally if I had a team where other people were doing that, but I don't necessarily need to. In the group, though, if there's something to be addressed, I will. But if you're running a band, Tony, it doesn't really take that much. You're not going to get 100 posts in a day. You might be lucky if you got 10 in a group.
Yeah, sure. It's just management of that resource,
Right. So I know, like, you've kind of, I think that's what you said your reason was for kind of staying off the social media thing, was you don't have time.
Correct.
Right. What I'm saying is it doesn't take time. It doesn't take hardly any time. You could do it while sitting on the can.
Sure.
Instead of playing Angry Birds or whatever you play.
I don't play any of that stuff. I don't have time.
So what do you do on the can? Read the newspaper?
I don't. I use the can and I move on. I got other places to conduct business, man. I gotta go. No, but really, I don't play any games. I don't know, Candy Crush or Angry Birds or any of these things. If I'm on my phone, I'm either doing something, I'm learning something, I'm looking something up.
Mhm.
I'm not really, scrolling. Like, I'm not on Facebook, so I don't scroll or get engaged in that sort of stuff.
Right. Understood.
But this year, Steve, I'm going to start to explore more avenues of social media. Keep you
Okay.
guys posted on my journey.
Cool. I can't wait.
We'll do like a little wisdom hour journal. I can say, hey, this week I'm doing this, and here's how it's going.
I
So
like it.
we'll see what the future brings.
D. Dunkley wants to know what's your band's name, Tony?
The OC5 is the name of my band,
Uh,
based out of Warwick, New York.
okay. Um,
So
and
we,
where can OC5 be found on the internet?
OC5 Facebook page,
Mhm.
OC5.
And is there a website?
There is not.
There's no website.
There's no website. The Facebook page is the sole medium of which to promote the band.
Let's see. Interesting.
And again, you got to remember, we play 2 or 3 times a month, every month, not 55 sets a week like some people I know. So our marketing and our demographic is easily reachable, and most of the time when we advertise on the page, we'll right away, it might say 805 people are interested in this event. So we get feedback saying a lot of people are engaged with it. So we have a pretty active page. uh the band leader in our band, Guy, he runs the page. So
Hmm.
he puts the media up, and he manages all the announcements and all the notifications that go out. And when he puts a notification out, it goes out to everybody, in the group, so to speak, on that page. And being that we're only playing a couple times a month, we're also on all those venues' monthly calendar. So, hey, month of January, there's these 20 bands. We're on that list. Month
Right.
of February at B place, we're on that list. So whatever places having bands, they advertise as well. So in addition to us, advertising the gigs, the venues are also advertising the gigs online, with their respective events that they may be promoting.
Right.
We might be performing at. So that's always a help too. And it's
Yeah.
also good to get in lockstep with the venue on what they're promoting. Like, for example, the month of December, right? Hey, tree lighting and Christmas party this Friday night, adults only, with OC5. Family tree lighting on Sunday with kids, welcome. But, if you want to come party on a Friday night, no kids, we're going to have this rockin' Christmas party, and we're kicking off the holiday season. They advertise it as that. We advertise it as the same thing.
Right. That's good. Yeah. That's a definite conversation that comes up a lot in the group about venues promoting the band, promoting the shows, and the frustration when venues don't do that bands have. Some musicians, some bands feel like it's their responsibility. They're supposed to be doing it. And while I don't necessarily disagree, it's your responsibility as a band to promote yourself properly too. So rather than putting your energy towards what they're not doing, put your energy towards what can you do. Well,
And listen, assuming you have a good product, like you said, you have a capable band with good music and well received, you want to, relationships are the most important thing, right? Not
mhm.
only with the fans and the crowd and your friends and the people that come to see you, but also with the club and venue owners. Those are the most important relationships, because, hey, we like, this band, but the personalities are a little difficult, so they may not book your band as much. That's just the reality of it. People want to work with people that they like. So,
For sure.
you want to make friends with venues. And when you do well by if you have a good band and you do well by the places, I mean, me personally, I've always had great success with that, where, you come to a gig and they're happy to see you, and the owner comes over and hugs you when you get there, and how you been, how's your holiday, and you become part of, like, the family, so to speak, with the places that you play, especially if you play them on, in a regular rotation where you see the same people all the time, you know.
Yeah, that's why that's important, having good relationships with people, and like you said, being cool. Just be a cool person to Everybody all the time.
Yeah, and then somebody would also get your foot in the door where they call you first when they're got their book out for 2023, and they say, "Hey, wanted to see what dates you guys are available through the end of the year before I start booking all these other bands."
Yeah,
You
you
know?
definitely want club owners and managers to want
Yeah.
you back. Like, you guys are great. Come back.
Now that's also the exception, not the rule, because you know how it is too. Trying to book gigs, sometimes you have to call a club owner a dozen times before you can get them on the phone and get some commitments out of them. But
True, true.
we've been lucky in the half a dozen places that we play and we frequent. They contact us when they're getting ready to book, and they say, "Here's what I got available. Let us know. This way, if we have to change something around, we can make some changes before we have a bunch of bands on the roster already."
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's good. It doesn't fall under internet marketing, but the venue that you play, and I talk about this in other stuff that I've done, but if you play there or you want to play there, you should definitely go there when you're not working, and go there
Yes.
if you have time, and go there with the band or at least one other person. Go sit at the bar, go have a drink, get to know the bartender, anybody else that's working in there, get to know the lay of the land. Like, where's the bathroom? If there's a band there, definitely better to go when there's another band there, so you can see what the band is doing, what's working, what's not working, how they have everything set up, who the sound man is it their sound man, is it the house sound man? There's so many things that you can learn that can benefit you just going and hanging out at the venue. And I tell bands that all the time. If there's a place that you want to play, say you really want to be the biggest band in your area. Who is the current biggest band in that area? Where do they play? Go there, go see that band and learn what they're doing and copy it. You copy the formula anyway. Not the look or the songs, but whatever it is they're doing.
But sometimes that is the attraction, Steve, the look and or the songs, right? Because
Right.
sometimes you might follow a band just specifically because of the set list of music they play,
Right.
as opposed to not that they play it better than everybody else who's doing the same things, Sometimes that's a good separator from the crowd, just to have a different take on things or a different shtick, or, look at what bands are doing around you. And if there's 10 cover bands in your local vicinity that you're going to be competing with, you certainly don't want to be doing the same songs that they're doing. You need something to delineate you guys, to set you apart, to make you different, to make people remember you and say, "Wow, that was cool. I want to see that band again."
Yeah, definitely something unique, something that's different. There could be some common threads with songs, but like you guys, OC5, you guys do songs by popular artists, but not necessarily the popular song, but still songs that are recognizable, that people like, that they can dance to, but they haven't heard it a zillion times.
Yeah, that nobody else typically does, right? Like, we'll pull out songs that nobody typically does in our region. So I
Right.
could honestly say we're the only band in our area that does, these 6 songs, But it's the whole thing, like you said, it's the personas, it's the relationship, it's the show, it's the set list, it's the fact that there's a featured drum solo at every show, and it's not just like, a 10-second clip. It could be up to as long as I want to make.
Didn't you send me a video, or you showed me the drum solo?
I did.
And it was killer. I wish we could did we play it here? No, we gotta play it here.
I don't think so. I have little clips we could play.
Freaking killer. Is it on my phone? Where did you send it? Did you text it to me?
I did. I texted it to you. So that was a little clip from a show that someone shot on their phone. But what happens is, it's now become like an event at the shows, where people look forward to it. I know I certainly look forward to it, right? Not that anybody else does. But it's like expected now. The people, they want to see a 2 or 3 minute drum solo with, some entertainment factor to it.
There we go. Let's see if I could show your drum solo here.
Let's see.
Let's see if I could do this.
If you can't, I think I could.
I mean, the only way I could do is to hold up the phone.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's cool.
There you go.
Not 35 or 40 seconds of, a 3-minute solo clip.
That's some entertaining stuff right there, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Very good drums, and then the stick flipping and the all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put on a show, so that's what it's about, right? Like, you could sit there and, you could do, whatever you want to do, but for our shtick, that's something that we do, There's theatrics. I do a bunch of stick flips, throw a bunch of stuff in the air. It's always a challenge if you're going to catch them all or not. So there's a little risk involved. It's like going to the circus, kind of, when you see
you look like you were juggling.
Or, you try to juggle a little bit. Keep people entertained, but at the same time, you want to, you got to deliver the goods. You can't just be a showman and have crappy chops. You have to deliver a good solo, but you also want, so I'm blessed to have that opportunity on a gig where I'm allowed to have that freedom to stretch, and do whatever I want. And, surprisingly, it's very much appreciated and welcomed by the crowds. They really They don't walk away like, at an arena show and go to the bathroom or go get something to drink. You know what I mean? They stay engaged for that bit of time. And, it's fun because even when we have a smaller venue, like I played, that was at Tin Barn. That place holds about 300 people, but we played a place over the weekend for the party that held about, 100. And there was maybe 70 people there. And it was tables, and they were, a lot of people seated as well as standing. And it was almost like back at like doing a drum clinic. Like in a music store when I used to do that. It's like you have a captive audience of all people where I was almost like having conversation with them while, doing the solo.
Right.
It was like this intimate setting. So it's cool. It's fun. It's different. Every venue's different, and you tailor your approach to how you're going to solo or play your part, depending on the place that you're playing at.
You need to get the video up online somewhere so we can show it for real. And
it's coming. I have a few things in the works, so in the coming weeks, I'll let you know what's going on.
All right. You don't have to do it all at once. Just do one thing at a time.
I got you. I know.
Get it up there.
Yep.
Just send it in an email, and I'll do it for you.
Okay, fair enough. You got it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. That's another thing I'm going to talk about during this hour too. And if I didn't, if you're just joining us, next Tuesday I'm going to do an hour, sort of a webinar to teach people how to successfully advertise their gigs online. And there's a link in the description of this live video we're doing right now, so you can click on that link and check out more info there. Get the early bird price. Today is the last day to do that. And it's 33% off. It's still really cheap either way, but go ahead and get it. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about too during that too, Tony, is content. And you touched on it earlier, but we just showed your drum solo, and that is content. And that's what you need to draw up excitement, interest about your band online, and then subsequently get them to your shows. So having a clip like that, what was it, 50 seconds, something like that?
Yeah, something quick you can just throw up, less than a minute.
You can make that a video. You can make it a reel. You can put it on TikTok.
Yeah.
You can put reels on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube as short. They're called shorts on YouTube. They're called reels on Facebook and Instagram. And on TikTok, they're just TikTok, whatever. But either way, it's what it is a short video clip. And that is what's getting the most engagement right now online, is those kind of videos. It's, short and sweet, gets the point across quickly, whatever it is, but it is highly effective. So I'm going to talk about that during this hour, about content creation, about what kind of content should you make, and then where do you put it, and how do you incorporate that into getting people to your shows.
Yeah, and people's attention spans are not, like you said, geared for watching something that's going to be 10 minutes long, right? They want to watch something and move on to the next thing. So you want to get in quick, hit them with something really cool, and then jump out. Right,
and leave them wanting more. And that's been kind of a credo for a long time in show business. You want to leave them wanting more.
Yeah, always.
So that they go and buy your T-shirt and buy your CD or whatever it is, whatever else you have to offer.
Like with anything, you see the trailer for the movie or the trailer for the series, and then it gives you a little tease of what it's all about.
I got to make that, like you said something about before, going back and watching previous or listening to previous shows, but I really need to go through and make like maybe a best of or just a short video of.
Yeah, there's only 200 hours to sift through. So
I know, that's the thing. It's like
wouldn't be all that difficult, right? I mean, Yeah, I mean, I can remember some really good episodes early on. We were doing a radio show. We had some really good conversation, just the two of us. It's no engagement from
I know.
anybody, but we had some great stupid wisdom stuff.
Yeah.
Be good to go back and enjoy some of that.
I don't have that kind of time. I just
That's
don't
what I'm
have
saying.
it.
I don't know who does, but that would be, Charlie, put that on the list. I got some guys. Maybe we can get them working on it.
All right, we
Just
got them
spare
working on
time.
it. Sifting through the
Sifting through the archives. Right?
190 hours of
Yeah.
stuff. And
Episode 17, 36, 52 maybe. Those ring a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Early days.
Someday, maybe when I'm old, I'm in a nursing home. Hopefully, I'm never.
No,
in a
this
nursing
year,
home.
once Cover Band Central starts to become, the global entity that it's meant to be, then it's supposed to be, then we can hire, staff. We can have staff to do that. Just say, Johnny, your job this month is to put together a best of show. Let me know when you have some content.
I like it. I think that's the vision. Yes, I think
And we
you're
just
right.
need to find Johnny and get him to do it.
Yes. All right. So, anybody else just joining us, come on in and say hello. Tell us where you're from, and we will say hello back. People are just kind of hanging out, listening, watching.
Anybody in the audience wants to go back and listen to 200 episodes and submit some stuff, we'll definitely give you credit. We'll talk
absolutely.
How about this, Steve? If anybody in the audience would like to go sift through the episodes and submit their best of ideas, we will have them on the show.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the making of the best of wisdom.
And we'll promote whatever you want.
And we'll promote your band.
Whatever it is.
It's not a
you need.
contest. Just if you're interested, email me or Steve at his thing over there. Steve, down here, I think somewhere, right?
I have to organize this better. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's down here. There we go. Right across the bottom there.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
my
email
email.
me or Steve at coverbandcentral.com.
Right.
If you're interested, let us know. Right? We'll hook you up. We'll have you on the show. It'll be great.
Yes. And don't forget, during this hour, you can give stars.
You can give
Stars are a digital gift that you can give during a live broadcast or watching the replay. Give stars if you like what we do. If you don't like what we do, give a lot more stars and we'll stop.
We need a theme song for Get Stars. We got to work on that.
Get stars.
Well, it'd be like Give Blood by Pete Townsend.
Didn't we have this conversation already? But yeah.
Get Stars.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I would do the
have enough.
I would do the stars, what was it with the
Oh,
with D?
say, can you see that Stars?
No, the stars that was Dio, and it was the metal community's answer to "We Are the World." They did a song called "We're Stars." It was called "Stars," but the chorus just was "We're Stars." Jeff Tate.
We're Stars, Dio.
You don't remember that?
No.
Okay, somebody else does remember that, I'm sure. There was the "We Are the World" thing, and it was all like pop stars, Mike,
And We Are Stars.
Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie.
I remember that We Are the World clearly, but I don't remember the metal version of the Stars.
But then, yeah, the metal community was like, hey, how come we didn't get included in this? So they came up with their own song and their own similar video with metal people. Kevin Dubrow from Quiet Riot was there.
Yep.
And the song was called "Stars," and Dio, and the chorus was "We're Stars."
We'll have to look that up.
I'm telling you, it was there. What's up, Dakin? Steve Dakin.
Not that I
is
don't
here.
believe you. I definitely, I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying I'm not familiar.
I can't believe you missed that.
I can't believe it either.
It was a big deal because
I guess so.
"We Are the World" was huge.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, right? "We Are the World."
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to think. I got to look this up now. Let's look it up together.
We're Stars. Let's look it up, Steve. We got a couple minutes here, right? Yeah, we got 15 minutes. We can spend a minute looking up "We Are Stars."
I'm gonna share it. Let's see.
He's gonna bring it up right now. So for all you people listening out there, Steve's gonna bring it up this week and educate us all on some
Okay.
classic metal history.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my entire screen, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. That's a good look, huh?
That's cool, man. It's like one of those picture within a picture, endless mirrors. Like it.
I'm trying to think of the name of the group. It was
Just
Because
type in we are stars, man.
USA for Africa was We Are the World. So
Yep.
We Are Stars. Let's say Dio. Hearing Aid. That was it.
Hearing aid? Is that what?
Hear and Aid.
That's great.
I'm not going to play the video, but I want
Because you need a
to.
hearing aid after listening to it because the metal anthem is blowing your eardrums out.
We're
Love it.
Stars. That's the song.
And there you
It
go.
was a little slow.
You can't find it on YouTube? You can't just pop it up and be like, here we go?
I can, but I don't want to play the video.
All right.
All right, so it was a
Hearing
charity
aid.
record recorded by a large ensemble of 40 heavy metal musicians and released in 1986. The project was organized by Ronnie James Dio, Jimmy Bain, and Vivian Campbell, all from Dio's band. 40 musicians. So let's see who the musicians were. Let's see if it tells us that somewhere. Track listing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, lead vocals: Eric Bloom from Blue Oyster Cult, Ronnie Dio, Don Dokken, Kevin DuBrow, Rob Halford, Dave Menichetti from Y&T, Paul Shortino from Rough Cut, who was a killer vocalist, and Jeff Tate from Queensryche.
Yeah.
Backing vocals, look at this: Tommy Aldridge, Dave Alford, Carmine Appice, or is it Carmine Appice? Isn't it Carmine Appice and Vinny Appice?
Well, they're brothers, so
I know they're brothers, but they both say it differently.
I guess didn't pay strict attention to it.
Frankie Benali, rest in peace, from Quiet Riot. Mick Brown from Dokken. Carlos Cavazzo from Quiet Riot.
Yeah.
Brad Gillis. Wasp. Blackie Lawless. Chris Holmes. George Lynch. Mick Morris from Motley Crue sang backup vocals. There you go. Vince Neil, backup vocals.
Whole metal entourage.
Yeah, Rudy Sarzo, Neil Sean. And yeah, this is cool. It has the solos too. Craig Goldie from Jafria. Fourth solo, fifth solo, sixth solo. There were 6 solos in the song.
Well, sure, they had to go around the horn, man, you know?
Oh,
A lot of metal to showcase here.
Rhythm guitar by the Maiden Boys.
It's great.
All right, there you go. Little
good stuff with your kaleidoscope screensaver you got going right there.
Stop sharing. There we go.
Yeah.
That was the only way to do it.
Hearing aid.
Hearing aid, yes.
Not to be confused with cooling aid.
You knew it was.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. So if you're interested in some nostalgic music from the 80s, go check that out. We're Stars. So I didn't even talk about my week from last week.
Yeah, Steve, let's close the show with your your
We
past
got a few
endeavors.
minutes
What happened this past week? What'd you do?
Nothing exciting.
Just hung out? Did nothing really?
No, I played my usual
50 or 60 sets, and then the rest is just ho hum.
Yeah, well, not 50 or 60. I did my usual Friday night, Saturday day and night, Sunday day and night. So 32 sets. 20. How many sets is it? 10, 16, 20, 32 sets.
32 sets of music. Come on down.
What's up, Mike?
Hey,
There's on
Mike
point.
Schulte. What's happening, brother?
Happy New Year to you, Mike. Mike is
Happy
plugging
New
away.
Year.
If anybody, I'm going to show some examples of Mike's work too in this hour thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because Pork Tornadoes, he's just, we've known Mike for years now, and he's just really grabbed it by the horns and learned how to do this stuff in a rapid way and most effective way. And his band is just killing it, man. Pork Tornadoes. Check him out online.
Yeah, he definitely has the advertising thing down.
Oh, he's really good at it. And he does his podcast too, Confused Breakfast. Check that out. Mike Schulte's podcast. It's about movies, mostly 80s movies. They talk about stuff I haven't listened
Not
to
to
in
be
a while,
confused
Mike.
with breakfast items.
Right. Check
So
out
I would
Mike's
think
work.
confused breakfast might be like I wanted toast, but now I have bacon instead, or I wanted eggs poached, not over easy, and they came out scrambled. like some breakfast confusion.
Yeah, I don't know the
It,
origin
it, it
of,
may not happen at home, but it might happen when you order out.
I don't know the origin of that name for that show. I suppose if I listened to it, I would know that. Sorry, Mike. I did listen to some episode at some point, but I haven't listened to it in a while. But I should. It's because they're really good. It's a great idea. So yeah, my weekend normal Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday day night. Um, I go through kind of a roller coaster sometimes too during that weekend where I'm feeling just I'm dragging, or then I got a lot of energy. Sunday generally I have more energy because I know it's the last day, and it's easier to kind of get through. But I guess I did want to mention, since we do have a little bit of time, I had a friend pass away on Thursday. His name was Rich Carney, and he was a singer in my very first band when I was a kid. I knew him. I met him. I'll tell that story here. I was playing in 1983 is when I got my first bass. So nearly 40 years ago. It was February of 1983. Nearly 40 years ago. So next month, it'll be 40 years for me.
Wow.
And I got on it right away. I took lessons. I took music theory in school. And I started jamming with my buddies, a couple of these dudes right down the street from me. And we didn't know what we were doing, but we were just jamming. Didn't matter. But I was learning quickly. And then within a couple months, I felt like I'm ready to join a band. I'm a bass player. I knew E, A, and G. I'm ready to join a band. And I went on this audition, and it was playing covers. And the only song I really remember from it is Hit Me With Your Best Shot. But it was the songs of the day. It was still like Journey and whatever. Not really Bon Jovi, but I don't remember any of it. But I went to this audition, and they were also auditioning a singer at the time. And it was this guy, Rich. And for me, the audition, I thought it went well. I came in as prepared as I could be as a 2-month bass player.
Dude, I'm killing it, man.
And
Thanks, kid. We'll call you.
And Rich came in, and he really wasn't a very good singer, but he came in and he just like sold the part of the lead singer, like the Steven Tyler, Vince Neil, Dee Snider frontman kind of thing, with the mic stand, with the scarves, and he had a lot of energy and stuff. And so ended that audition. I exchanged numbers with him. This was back before internet, kids, and cell phones. 1983. And so I got a call from the band after it, and they said, we really like you. We'd like you to be in the band. I was like, okay, cool. You're going to get Rich too? And they were like, no, we're not. We don't want him. So I got off the phone and I thought about it for a while, and then I called Rich and I said, hey, it was great meeting you. I had a lot of fun. And I said, the band called me and they want me, but they don't want you. And he's like, oh, well, it's all right. And I said, but I want to work with you. So I said no to the band, and
no to the band and yes to Rich.
Yes to Rich. Yeah, I became friends with Rich, and we ended up putting. I was like, I know this guy, this drummer, and he was just the kid I was jamming with in the street. Or he actually lived in Whippany when I lived in Cedar Knolls. He lived, and I lived in Lake Hiawatha. But he used to come because he was friends with this kid down the street, so he used to come to town. And we put together our first band, and we were just kind of goofing around, and we never played. And this happened very quickly. And then we actually put together another band in Montville, New Jersey, where Rich was from. And I played my first gigs with him. The first gig was a community center. It was Montville Community Center. And the second one was a party, a New Year's Eve party. And the third one was Montville High School. I remember those gigs so well.
That was your first gig ever that you played?
My first gig ever was Montville Community Center. I was maybe 16 at the time. I have pictures from it still. Or no, I don't have pictures from there. I have pictures from the high school. It was I can't tell that story now, but I'll tell that story someday. My first gig at the Montville High School. I may have told you this story before, but it was tragic. It was it was bad. But yeah, so Rich passed away. He had some health concerns, a lot of them over the last few years, and we were best friends as kids, and I went through a lot of my teenage years hanging out with him and growing up and, meeting the first girl and all that stuff. So at first I heard he passed away and I'm like, I'm not surprised. But then it kind of sunk in. I was like, oh man, he's my age, and I'm still kind of trying to make my way through life, and that's it. His is over.
Yeah, life goes by fast, man. Everyone says it, but you really got to cherish the moment and enjoy the people that you're around and the people you get to play with, and not take it for granted, because nothing lasts forever. And, you have great runs at things and seasons of success, and, you get to enjoy people, and then, people fall ill, people pass away, tragic things happen, people move on, and life changes. So it's a constantly ever ebb and flow of life, as they say. And we got to be present to enjoy the moments that we're in now, because like you said, you don't know when your time's going to be up.
You don't know, and you definitely want to appreciate every moment and be grateful for everything that you do and experience and all the people in your life, for sure. Rest in peace, my friend. Yeah. And thanks for all the good times. We did have a lot of good times. We went to a lot of concerts together too, and I'll always remember that stuff.
Yeah, and all the more reason, Steve, to take risks. And, if you're thinking about starting that band and you're not sure if you're good enough and you're afraid a little bit and you have some kind of hesitation, just go for it, right? You got nothing to lose, right? Life's too short.
Yes.
Go for it. Just, you have a dream or an idea to do something, just do it. Don't care about people's opinions and feedback, and, just forge your own path and be happy.
Yes. Live your best life now.
Yes,
for sure.
Indeed.
And that would include going to...
Indeed it would.
Oh, man, I should have timed that better. Going to coverbandcentral.com and signing up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It's free. Go check that out. If you want to communicate with us, Steve at coverbandcentral.com. You can reach me or Tony about anything. And once again, next Tuesday, January 17th, 1 o'clock Central Time, I'll be hosting this webinar for... an hour teaching you how to properly advertise your gigs online. And there's a link in the description here. Check out that link and sign up. Get yourself a ticket. Reserve for yourself a spot. Next Tuesday, Tony, we have a special guest.
Really?
We do. We have Mr. Paul Riario. He's an old friend of mine, guitar player, and he works for Guitar World magazine. He's one of the best guitar players you'll ever hear. And he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And I'm really excited to have Paul here next week. Hopefully, he said he would do it. So hopefully we're going to have him here next week. That's the plan. So tune in next week at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, January 17th for that interview with Paul. And that'll be the same day as I do my webinar thing. So we'll be able to talk about that. But lots of other stuff. So until next week, guys and gals, be good to each other, be good to yourselves. And rock out.